Yo, it's Guido. What's happening? Coming at you from the left side of the Atlantic without Pilgrim today. Unfortunately, he is busy. Stairway to Gilligan's Island. Wasn't that awesome? That killed me, man. That killed me. The crazy clown. He is nutty. Number one coffee talk at the 0700 Central. What is it? Daylight savings time slot? Are we in daylight savings time or not? I'm not exactly sure. How's everybody doing? Randall, Poor Old Sod, Wayne, Stickler, Odd Dog. Another week has passed by. It is Sunday the 20th of March, if you can believe it. Third month of the year. Almost gone. That blows my mind. Spent the day in the yard yesterday. I actually mowed the lawn, so for you in the northern clime, just be happy you're not already taking care of the lawn like I am. Let's see what's going on channel-wise, man. Where is my list? Here's my list. What do we got going on? 100 Battle Challenge continues. It's almost Christmas, that's right. So funny story, I don't know if you've noticed, but in the background there is no longer any Christmas. We literally, I think I'm using the word correctly in this case, literally took down Christmas last weekend, if you can believe it. So, good news is, since my wife puts it up sometime in October, we only have to wait maybe 6-7 months, and we're right back into Christmas mode. Holy cow! I took the lights down. Yeah, it is very festive. I took the lights down outside months ago, but we finally got around to it. My mom was visiting, so we just kind of left it up and had a little Christmas in March kind of thing. 100 Battle Challenge continues. I don't know where I am on that, actually. I'm doing the tier 6s. So the Pollack is next. And once I reach 100 points for Battle Pass, then I'm stopping. So the 100 Battle Challenge, that gets a bunch of my tier 6s. I've got 8 left that don't have 100 battles, so those have moved into the probably 40 to 50 game area. Yeah, I could leave it up, and I don't even have to worry about taking it down. We may achieve that. That may be maximum Christmas. It's possible that my wife's becoming the Christmas lady, and we could achieve maximum Christmas sometime in the near future. This is not the latest we've gone. We managed in April once. I want to say it was right after April 1st or something. So this was close to the record, but not quite. Not quite. No EU update. I haven't done much of that. Next stream, I do not know, unfortunately. I think this chair might disintegrate. I don't know if I've max performed it, or maybe it's what is it with jets? Its maximum hours has been reached. It might need some maintenance or something. I don't know, but it's possible it's going to break. Next stream, I don't know. Yeah, that's right. Sell loot boxes. This is going to be Guido boxes. Guido boxes. Code Guido Grind. Guido Grind. So, I don't know on the next stream. I don't have a scheduled day off, so hopefully I have some time. So I won't even dare to throw a day out right there. We'll see what happens with that. Other than obviously we're streaming right now. And that's it for news. Yeah, she loves those Christmas stores, Poor Old Sod. Every time we go somewhere that has one of those, she's in there, and usually something is purchased and added to the collection. All right, let's take a look here. Get Chrome going. Where it is. Here it is. All right. So what's going on with, actually let's swap over. We'll swap over to the Watt scene here, and we'll do it this way. Boom. All right. What do we got? Time to shill. Get the blue light special out. All right. Most excellent. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. Looked at this earlier. I don't know if there's really a whole bunch going on with this. Kind of the same stuff. We still have the G.I. Joe stuff up, you can still get the Battle Pass reinforcements, which I will assume will last until the end of Battle Pass here. Such a deal, right? So you can get the skins and all that stuff. The T-34-3 is out there. There is a code for that. We'll get that in a second. A code to get a rental, which is Commander AF's rental, which will be the T-40-3, T-34-3. $44, which was a little bit surprising to me. Does that not seem high? It does seem high to me. It's a medium, and it's preferential. Does that make it worth more or less? That's a good question. I don't know. Seems high to me for a medium. You can get the Su-130 PM. That's out, so that's a sought-after tank as well, which for the basic plan, I guess you can't even get the basic plan. I guess it's coming with the Altai Fox, no matter what you do. Is that right? It looks like it. Oh, you'll be buying my 3D skin, my friend. You will. You will be buying it. $7 is the lowest you can get with that thing. The 4202 is out. I don't know. It's okay. Not an amazing tank. And the T-77, which is decent, you can get. So here's the deal: $44 for that, right? And that's why I think the 34-3 is a little overpriced. $44 for the T-34-3. I don't know how that thing is performing. Maybe it's actually doing really well. I have no idea. But the price seems high. I don't know. What do you guys think? I got it. I got that thing a long time ago. I don't remember how I ended up getting it. So those are the featured. The gold is standard stuff. Nothing really to mention there. For you guys, premium count, also standard. Probably everyone's got a bazillion days based on Christmas. Vehicles, we dig down a little further. You can get the IS-2M, the Skoda T27. I don't know why you would do that. Maybe you would. 50 TP, it's at $43. Pretty good premium tank. And then we get into the standard stuff down here, which we see every week. Every week. Specials is more of the same. The M454 is on the fast track, so you can get the little boosters that are going to help you grind through that if that's what you would like to do. And I don't think there's anything else to add there. It's all standard stuff. So much for shilling. There's really nothing big. Just the if you're loving the G.I. Joe thing, that's there, and the reinforcements deal, which is on the featured page here. Remember, that will get you enough for, I believe, 20 Battle Pass points. Yeah, a little bit of a slow week there, Wayne. I would agree. I don't know what's coming up next. This is a good question. Are we gonna have a marathon? I mean, we're in Battle Pass, so there is that piece. But as far as a big event other than Battle Pass, I haven't heard much of anything. We had the trade caravan, and we didn't get the black market. Maybe Frontlines. Yeah, that's a good one. Let's take a look at it because I'm wondering, was there a I don't think we have an April preview yet. No. In fact, I don't even know. Did we ever get a March? Maybe yes, no, maybe so. I don't remember. Did we even go through the March one? It's way back if it was. Don't know. March, yeah, we did have one, okay. And what did it say? So the preview for March: Carnival, Battle Pass, Women's Day, Missions, Showdown Saturday, nothing else. So there was nothing else on that. I don't know, man. You just I haven't heard anything. There's not a peep. I sort of wonder if the company is basically on autopilot right now based on the world situation. I have nothing to prove that or disprove that, but I'm not sure, man. Very strange. Quack? Let's see. St. Patrick's Night. There are some bundles. Why did I not see that? That was weird. Those were not in the shop, or did I miss them somehow? Item unavailable. In your place of residence. I've never seen that. What does that mean? It's unavailable to me. Attention, each bundle can only be purchased once per account. I don't want to be sure to check back frequently. We'll have a different bundle. The final sale will start Sunday, March 20th. Oh, I haven't even paid attention to these. These have been different, huh? Did any of you guys purchase these? That's bizarre. Why is it not available to me? Maybe because I have the tanks. I don't know. But it said my region. That was weird. Item unavailable. Look at other interest. Oh my gosh, what is happening? I don't know. All right, that's strange. Yeah, so these were apparently bundles that were one-offs for 3 days. So we're on day 3 of 4. Later today, what was the time it gave? 1900 Central Time. So there'll be a new bundle at 7. And it does say night bundle, so that's odd. Well, there you go. There's one more coming for whatever it's worth. Apparently nothing to me because I can't look at it, or I can't get it, which is strange. All right. We'll get to some of this stuff here. There are some St. Patrick's Day missions, offers, and drops. I think we are drops enabled, I believe. I hope. Let me know if you're getting the drops, guys. I think we are. Show all streams with drops enabled. Well, let's take a look and see if I'm on that list. No, I am not enabled. Well, never mind then. Failure. I could have swore I asked them to put me on the list. I don't know. Twitch drops guide. All right. Those were all EU guys, too. That was odd. All right. The T77 is a special offer. That's why those two are in the shop right there. They're still peeved at me. What did I do? What did I do, man? Here's something I wanted to kind of highlight a little bit for you guys. There are 4, I think we talked about this last week, but there are 4 streamers that have a whole mission or a whole Twitch drop campaign for March. And that's Nick Schock, Klaus, German Intelligence, and Casual. So those guys, and you can see down here what the reward schedule is. So you can get quite a few goodies if you do the stream thing and like watching the streams. Oh yeah, I made fun of the new infraction rules. Yeah, maybe we'll get to that. That's on my list. That is on my list of things to talk about right there. So that's it. Let's go jump over into the client and see what's going on with that. I was looking at that a little bit earlier. So rank battle, is that still going? I didn't realize that. So rank battles ends tonight. If you're grinding that, this is your last night to do it. But it ends tomorrow. Well, I guess it is tonight because of the time period that it lets you play. Whenever it ends tonight, that's over. G.I. Joe versus Cobra is still out there. You can get some little goodies. Not much. We got the on track for the M454. Luck of the Irish. Looks like I've done that. That was not too hard. What'd you get? Some decals. You can sell these guys, the hats. And I did not know this. Did you guys know you can sell paint? If you don't want the paint, just go in here. I didn't realize this. Exterior paints. If you go down to I don't know if you guys know this. Also, this is the In Depot button. Press that and it will show only the stuff you have. And you can sell, well, you can't sell that. That's the chocolate, but you can sell the regular paint. So they're 4,000 each. So 30 times 4,000 would be what I'd get. I got a bunch of paints down here. I may or may not sell them, but in case you're in the market for extra credits and getting rid of paint, that's how you do that. I think that's everything in the... What am I looking for? Help me. Help me understand. There we go. Missions. Okay. I think that's everything here. Luck of the Irish. Watch Salute. The standard multipliers. And that's it. That is it for the missions. Not a whole bunch going on with that stuff. Yeah, wouldn't you like to sell garage slots? I have, how many do I have? 100? 198. Almost 200 of those bad boys. Almost 200. Yeah, no drops. So I don't know, man. I will tell you that at this point, with all of that kind of stuff, I don't even bother to complain or send a note to them anymore. They either work or they don't, and I don't worry about it. I suppose if I was doing a serious event of some kind, I would probably ping them. But I don't know. Do I have them, or do you? Yeah, do you? I don't know. Does the watcher have to have them turned on? I thought they just automatically started collecting. So the green hats are not sellable, but the shamrocks are. That's weird. Okay, there you go. On my Twitch settings, I don't know if that... I've never done that before. They've always worked. Community. Content. I don't know, man. Stream manager. Yeah, that's where I'm looking. But what sub thing? Streaming tools, maybe? You're a streaming tool. No, that's not it. I hate it when I do that. When I go away, I lose all my chat. Clicked on something else and lost my chat. I wish it wouldn't do that. It should open another window up for that very reason. Come on, Twitch. I don't think there is I don't have a drops tab. Got insights, community, content, settings, viewer, tools, extensions, insights, not insights, community. Roles, activity, followers, content, producer, collections, clips. That's not it. Settings, maybe stream settings. I've never had drops. There it is. Viewer rewards. Drops. Yep, it's on. Yep. And I lost chat again. Perfect. All according to plan right there. All according to plan. Are you feeling lucky? Spelled like this. That should be Commander AF's code for the T-43-3 rental. So check that out. Standard little goodies and all the mission that goes with it and all that good stuff. And that's pretty much it on missions and specials, folks. That's all I got to say about that. Feeling back pain? Are you feeling back pain? I have a little bit. I did the yard lot yesterday. Like I said earlier. Oh, that's not a bad idea, Doctor Who, for the free-to-play. Make sure you get those rentals, and you can chuck some. You can chuck some crew into it. Very nice. I have all kinds of barracks, though. But if you're newer, free to play, that's a great way to do it. One place to hide some of your crews there. All right, subjects du jour. Blasting through it today without Pilgrim to get us off on tangents, man. All right. Battle Pass. How's everybody doing on Battle Pass? See where I am. I'm only on 37, man. This is going slow for me. I'm just not playing as much as I usually do. So I'm only on stage 32. I have not bought the booster thing. I may do so. Really what I'm going to do is just see how far I get through and I'll probably buy to the end of at least this battle pass, so I get enough coins that I can dribble through the rest and get one of the tanks. I kind of want both, so I may end up spending a bunch of gold to do so. We'll see. So artillery's on 37, last of the 3. Oh, no kidding. Rentals are full of 100%. Stickler's got 1 done, 1 at stage 38, 1 at stage 21. So why did you jump around, Stickler? Was there a benefit to it? Eric the Virus is on 11. Defects is halfway through the second. The only shorter coffee talk was the one we didn't have, yeah. Well, if we run out of stuff to talk about, I'll just play the game a little bit and we'll goof around. Bought 20 stages of each chapter with Christmas gold. What did that do for you? Just to get 20 deep into it, or? I'm trying to figure out. Oh, there you go. So you can get the coins. All right. Okay. I see you. 3 coins, huh? Yeah. 3 coins. Yeah. But it guaranteed you 9 coins right there, right? That's a good idea. Where was the next break point? There's a coin at 25. Is there another break point? 40. 40, 45, and that's it. So 40 is your next break point. What's going on, Red Man? How are you? No keys. Yeah, you'll need them when Crew 2.0 arrives. Yeah. Yeah, get your bounty turbo. How is that? Is that from the... Where do you get that? There was something you had to do to get it, right? Is it here? Here it is. This thing, right? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's right here. Yeah, right there, yep. So that's... Okay, that's a different... So that's a slightly... I hadn't thought about that. That is a slightly different tactic, I guess. This is 24, this is 18. And you're going to want to, no kidding, get a bounty turbo. Is this going to be 1 turbo per... Well, who knows what next season's going to have. They may have another thing that's worth having. Obviously, there's other ones here too, but the turbo's the one that is probably most valuable because it's... I think that's a new one, right? Yeah, can you choose it at a level? This is what's confusing me. I thought there was bounty stuff in this part too. Right? So does that mean you can get 2? Okay, so Cliffy, can you actually come out with 2? Yeah, Bonzi got one from the stages. Can you guys check on that? Can you now go in and get one out of the bond shop too? Or not the bond shop, but the coin shop? 4 total. Oh, one for each stage, and 1 out of the coin shop. That makes sense. Okay, well there you go. That's, well, that made this whole thing worth it for me anyway. I wasn't really thinking about that. That's what was confusing me, because I thought you could get them out of the phases, out of the level thing. I didn't realize there was also a coin shop that had it in there. And I would say, since you are, it kind of depends. I think the turbo is going to be popular for a lot of people, but there's other good bounty equipment in there as well, so you don't have to just get turbo. However, 4 turbos, that'll get you going. It'll get you going because also it's a turbo. Zoom. You kind of suspect Crew 2.0 crews will need to be 100% plus for crew books. Yeah, so I don't think if you buy a bunch of if you went and bought a bunch of 50% crews, although those are free, I guess. Let's call it 75%. I don't think that's going to get you a bunch of extra experience or books or whatever. Could be wrong. Yeah, Bounty Vent and Rammers are also handy, 100%. What else is handy there? What do you guys think? Let's see. GLD is probably not. Optics are handy. Stabilizer's okay. Bounty Exhaust is good. Bounty Aiming's also decent. I mean, all those are good. The only one I wouldn't get is the GLD. But even so, there are some tanks you might want to put a GLD on. Those are all pretty good. Yeah, Eric, I think you're right. I would agree with that. That's actually a good deal. We didn't talk about it this week. We talked about it last week, but the $10 for what you get out of that is pretty darn good. Yeah, the crew conversion part of Crew 2.0, that's probably the most controversial part. Wouldn't you say? Is there anything else that's more controversial than that? I guess the what did they call them? They weren't commanders. They were instructors or whatever the hell they call them. That was another one that was a little bit goofy, I think. All right. Cool. What were we talking about? I don't even know. I guess we were talking about Battle Pass. Yeah, we were talking about Battle Pass. All right. So that's where I am on that. You guys are mostly ahead of me. The old Paulac. There she is. So Battle Pass is ongoing, my friends. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Everybody enjoying the Chief Apocalypse? How's that going for everyone? Anyone playing Tier 10? Anyone avoiding Tier 10 because of it? I was thinking about this because there has been some chatter on the CC channel, Discord channel about it. Yeah, there's definitely complaints going on about it, but I think people are mixing things up just a little bit because ranked is so full. Obviously, you can't play your chieftain, but ranked is full of crons, and then we've got the chieftains that have been piled into the game because of the whatever it was, clan wars. So that's finally finished up. Poor old Sod's not near Tier 10. EU tourney yesterday, that's all people could complain about, yeah. So it's a little mixed up in terms of that, but then there's the larger complaint about the whole down meta, which obviously crons and chieftains dominate. Yeah, so have I, Cliffy, at Tier 6. What I found fascinating about it is, this is something that you guys know I've been talking about for probably at least a year, maybe a couple years. You know, how bad these tanks are for the game. And I think it has been talked about by other people, but now some of the better players are talking about it, but only because now so many people have chieftains, right? It was fine when they had them. It was get good, learn how to aim, chieftains can be beaten, you know, all that kind of crap. And and all of a sudden now there's these people waking up and going, oh, maybe this is bad for the game. Oh, man. Yeah. Well, defects, that's kind of what my point is, though, because, you know, that's the whole attitude. Well, they can be beaten. No shit. Everything can be beaten. Noted. Thank you. You know what I mean? But in terms of what it does for the game, and of course the crons, because of when they swapped them out and made them reload faster, even though they took away a shell, that turned them into an issue. When you start talking about, we've talked about this before on the channel, when you start talking about things that have like 2-shot autoloaders or double barrels, because of their relatively quick reload and how fast they get back in the game, it's not really a negative. You don't really catch a VZ out very well. You know what I'm saying? You don't really catch a Baraska. Well, a Baraska is pretty long, actually, for what it is. But say a T-56. You don't catch them out for very long. You know, it's not like they shoot their shots and then you can just jump on them and take them down. You better get on them quick, and because they actually reload pretty quickly, you're only going to get 2 or 3 shots. So if they're low hit points, yeah, you can take them out. If they're not, you're not going to clear them out before they get that big burst coming at you again. The grind is okay on the Kron. You know what's funny about that Emil statement? Do you guys know where the Emil 1 is in terms of record? Anybody paid any attention to that kind of stuff? Watch this. I'll try to find it here. I'm going to go to tomato.gg. Let's bring this thing up. This surprised me. So we'll go to tank stats. We'll go to tier 8. And we'll go to heavies. And we'll sort by win 8. And we will find the Emil 1951. What? 4. Number 4. In win rate, it is 6th. This is the last 60 days. That sort of blew my mind. That is not a tank I expected to be up there. Now the Emil 1 is way down here. But it's one of the better tech tree tanks. I mean, you get down here and then all the tech trees. The problem with these stats, though, is tech tree tanks are grinding tanks. Yeah, the Curavets is up there. You have to parse these numbers with... There's always the... what's the word I'm looking for? There's always the... CRS has just hit me, man. CRS. Context. For example, the Charlemagne is far and away better, but has a really low battle count, and it's generally owned by really good players who have all the tanks and spent some, what was it, ranked or whatever it was that to get the Charlemagne. So it's both pretty good and played by very good players and has a low battle count. So yeah, I think it is validly probably one of the better. I don't know if it's this far and away, because this is pretty crazy at 50. You know, in terms of difference in stats, that's crazy. Everything else is has a lot more parity as you look at it. There's no drop off like 5% plus right there. So you got to take the context of it in there as well. The Emil again is sort of in a similar situation as it was a reward tank or what, I don't remember how you got it. And it has a relatively low battle count. The Curavet's kind of similar as well. On the Curavet's side, you were a dedicated player to get the Curavets. People stayed up. I'm not saying you were good necessarily, but you were definitely dedicated, and those tend to go together, either experienced and maybe not that great but dedicated, or good, experienced and dedicated kind of get tanks like the Curavets because of what you had to do to get the stupid thing. But still, it's doing well. It's also a new tank, so you got to throw that in there. So people may not be as familiar with its armor profile and ins and outs. So that's one you can probably throw a caveat at. I would not throw a caveat at the Skoda T56, though. Oh, jeez. What have I done? There's no real caveat at the Skoda T56. It's 400. It's played more than just about anything, and still holds a ridiculous 53.14 global in the last 60 days. That's insane. Renegade, same thing. Played a bunch. 703-2, same thing. Played a bunch. We talked about the Emil. The E75TS. I don't know if I would have put that in the top 10. That kind of surprised me, but there it is. PR, not surprised, played a lot as well. And look at this. The tank that ruined the game, that blew my mind, that it's actually in the top 10 on win rate. And then we get to the Basante. Now, if you go to win 8, it reshuffles a little bit, but not too much. Mostly the position, although the T77 sneaks in down here. And the 112, is that 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, the 112 sneaks in as well in terms of win 8, which surprised me a little bit. IS-3A drops to down here, but mostly the same tanks. T77 snuck in, Basante, and moves up. So it just sort of, especially the top 5, it just kind of moves them around a little bit. Yeah, 112 gets preferential matchmaking, yep. If you sort these by anything, there is not a tech tree tank that gets anywhere near until, watch this, this is pretty cool. All right, I'm just going to let you guys guess. Which of these last 4 is going to bring a tech tree tank in? Damage ratio, kill to death ratio, survival rate, or spots? What do you guys think? Chuck a couple guesses down there. I have to wait because there's a slight delay. Spots? Okay. Spots easy. All right. I know the answer. We're guessing spots. Okay. Watch this. Kill to death rate. No, nothing. I'll show you spots first. This is going to give it away. Nope. Check it out. Boom. 100-01. Number 2 in survival. That one cracked me up. Which is kind of nuts because I don't know, I was going to say because it doesn't win very much, it should hurt its survival, which it does. But I would say that when you win, you tend to survive more in that just because of how hard it is to kill in terms of its armor profile. So even though it doesn't have a great win rate, it survives its wins at a higher rate than anything else does, I'd say. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right. Somebody was saying something else. Yeah, grain of salt may have been another way to say it. Kron von Line. There's not a tech tree tank in the top 20, Wayne. Nope. Yeah, I think I might do some videos on that because I've done some messing around with that on various tiers and whatnot, and you know you get these declarations that this tank or that tank is great and this tank or that tank is bad. Well, what do the numbers really say? And I think the last 60 days numbers is a great way to do it because it's the current meta. So what tanks are performing in the current meta? Whatever you might think of them. Now, you may like a tank that's at the bottom and do well in it. I have plenty of those. But the argument of, all right, what do the numbers say the best tanks are that people do the best in? That site is pretty interesting for figuring that out. And there's a few surprising things thrown in there. It does, Wayne. It does, and that was part of the reason I wanted to maybe do that video because wow, like, why would you grind essentially, other than just for the love of the game and grinding? What's the purpose of at this point of grinding? Well, what can we get to? I guess an EBR 105 would be a reason to grind. The Super Conqueror is still pretty good. I mean, there's a couple things in there, but almost all of them are overcome by some kind of reward or premium tank. Obviously, and especially at Tier 8. The Kron, there you go. Tier 8 is the big one, though, right? Because there's just not a tech tree tank that competes really there. Yeah, Scarvister. That's funny you bring that one up too, because I was thinking about doing another video about Tier 6. I'm sure Clippy will back me up since he's been down there a lot with the Battle Pass. It blows my mind how many Seal Clubbers there are in this game of varying stripes. Some good at it and some bad at it. I have seen the damnedest numbers on tanks. The LEF thing, found a guy yesterday with 13,000 LEF battles, and I know there's people with a lot more, but that just blew my mind. And I don't know, it's crazy. If you play Tier 6 at all, look around at some of the players and stats and kind of look at the numbers. And some of these guys, and that's fine. If your thing is to hang out at Tier 5 and 6 and whatever and play the game, who am I to say how you need to play the game? But the point from Scarvister is very good. Even if you're a 49% career 100,000 battle LEF player, you're still beating the snot out of new players who are trying to figure out how to learn the game and get through Tier 5. I don't know if there's an answer to it. Let players grind to at least tier 6 or 7 before they have the option. But that doesn't take it. I understand what you're saying. That doesn't take any time anymore. With all the things you can do to bump up. Hell, they give you a tier 6. What, you get through their training system, and I think you have a tier 6 right there. So it would have to at least be tier 7. Otherwise, they'd be able to buy it as soon as they finish the onboarding stuff. I don't know, Scarvister. I that certainly happens. I cannot argue that there aren't people trying to make their stats look good, and that's a purely personal thing. Because no clan worth anything is going to care that you're a 58% or 62% tier 5 player. They'll just look at your stats and immediately go, well, okay, that's all he does is Seal Club. But they're out there for sure, 100%. You see some of them on the forums. They have their little Watt Labs Win 8 thing down there, and they're showing 64% and 3,000 Win 8 or whatever. And you look at their record, and they've played the T67 a billion years ago, or whatever it is. Oftentimes using alt accounts to post. Who knows who they really are? So, correct, Doctor Who. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. New players have all the tiers diluted down enough that, yeah, it is. It is pretty crazy, even at tier 8. I think you're right. After the battle, you take a look at it, especially if it's a Romple Stomp. Just look at your team, and you're like, whoa. You got a guy in his T32 with 800 battles, Is that right, Oxford? So while you're seal clubbing on SA, you got to be careful for the other seal clubbers. I would buy that. That sounds about right. Oh man, that sounds about right. Okay. So, guess what is coming to the game, my friends? Speaking of premium tanks, that is a great segue. I give you one guess. What kind of premium tank is coming? Got any guesses? Any guesses about what the next premium tank, or at least it's on super test? No, not this. This is on super test, so I don't know if it's the next. Yay! Double barrel American. Because we need that. We need a double barrel U.S. tank, don't we? The TS-54. U.S. Tier 8 heavy. Ay, ay, ay. 280 hit point damage. I think it's a 90 millimeter. 200 pen, 252 premium, which is not great, actually. And it looks like it's an APCR based on the color right there. 8.5 seconds per barrel. Double shot prep is a 3-second to fire both. You've got the block out of 6 seconds and gun change time of 3 seconds. Terrible dispersion at 0.44. That's not good at all. -8 is a decent elevation. The armor is okay. The turret looks good at 305, but I'm not really sure what the profile exactly is. That's pretty good. That forces a lot of gold use at higher tiers to punch through. 102 on the whole armor, which looks angled. Who knows what the lower plate is? Probably not great. Side's only 64 though, so that's not amazing. It does 35 kilometers an hour. Not too bad. 15 backwards is actually pretty good for a heavy. But it has an abysmal 11.4. That is not good. Specific power 11.4 is very low. So there you go. On super test. Who knows? When is that going to show up? Unknown. Unknown. Yeah, double barrel. We got to get one of them bad boys, don't we? It is low alpha, right? So you're only going to shoot twice. What does the 703 do? Is that 2 390s? And you're getting 2 280s off of this thing? What? What? Well, it's an American tank, so obviously it has to have terrible stuff. Where's this silly 703? It is 390, right? Yeah. So you double barrel somebody right there for almost 800, and the U.S. tank comes in at 5.5. It's more than that, but you get the picture. Personally, grinding the double barrel line, I felt like the double medium tank guns were underwhelming, but the 703 too feels nice. Double medium tank guns? What are you talking? You mean like the 100? You mean like when the IS-2 that has the double 100s? I don't know if it has a Tuma. It's hard to get a good look at that. Let me check another site and see if they have a better pick. Let's see here. There we go. That's the detailed overview. Here, this is a better picture. I can't move that, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like a relatively flat hatch. That's a tank. That's a kind of a bad angle. That's actually a tank in the background. So, and there's a hatch right there that's very. Oh, there we go. I can actually zoom that in just a little bit. It doesn't look like it, man. Unless I would doubt that's actually a hitbox. So it has a hatch, but it's not bad. This is a flat mantlet. Nicely angled right here, though. It's got a bit of a forenog in here, so I don't know if that's potentially pinnable. So it doesn't look too bad, does it? I know, right? It is. It's just it's derivative of the Russian tanks. We'll see. And that's the other thing about the premiums, right? It's just power creep after power creep. In fact, let's go back and see. All the ones at the top are the newer ones, aren't they? Let's go back and check that out, because I think they are. I think they're all the no kidding newer tanks. Go tank stats. Let's bring this back up here. Go to tier 8. Heavies. New. Relative. These are all relatively new tanks. Look at where the Object 252. Now that was the poster child, wasn't it, for power creep? Right, the 252, the original Bobject right there. It's all the way down. All these tanks are doing better than the 252U. But it's still pretty high. Suma's relatively new. There's the Defender. The Caliban's new. Kreslovsky's old but recently buffed. T-77. I mean, there's the first tank that's one of the OG heavy tanks on the premium side, the IS-6B, and it's all the way down there. Chrysler M4Y. I will say one thing: the M4Y was apparently not released totally overpowered, or at least it wasn't made to compete with the top guys, because it's down here. Tornwagen's down here, same thing. IS-5 112. Look where the low is, the Lurva. All the way down there. But I would argue it's still a good tank. It's just not going to perform like a Renegade or a 703-2, or especially not a Skoda T56. What's the worst premium? The 50T. 50T is the worst premium. T34. I actually like the T34, but it doesn't do too good. This surprised me a little bit. Remember when these came out? The Patriot and the T26E5, and they were actually, people liked them a lot, and they were considered one of the best. I think, though, at the end of the day, the Alpha just crushes it in terms of being a heavy. Still, I like it okay, but the Alpha just crushes it. The Marbrecher does better than the Alpine Tiger, Chrysler K, T26E5, T34, and FCM 50T. However, context matters. Very low sample size, only 7,000 games. Not many people like it or play it. So there's just a lot of interesting little tidbits to be had by checking out the actual stats, as opposed to just going with, how we feel on it. The low was also my credit maker. I think it's my highest played tank, I want to say. Even though I almost never play it now, but that was how I made credits. Yep, Lurva, 4,400 battles. Then the T-34, then the IS-6, then the Type. And, hilariously, the M53-55. But none of these I play right now. In fact, where do I have to get before a tank I play at all? No, I don't even know where. None of these. Real data, my friend. Real data. Charlemagne is mine when I have premium. What does that mean, Howie? Yeah, T-34 is too slow. But can still do good work in the right position. But you're right, it's situational as heck right now. Yeah. Well, you can even punch through its damn turret, actually, the cheek side. If he gives you any kind of side angle at all, you're going right into it. Oh, the Charlemagne's your credit maker. Oh, wow. No kidding. Very cool. I don't even have this. Do I have it? I don't think I do. I think I had it for... Yeah, I don't have it. I had it to make content, and then they took it back, so I don't even have that tank. I don't even, how do you get it? I can't remember right now how you get the Charlemagne. Was it is it ranked? Is it one of the ranked things? Or was it a Clan Wars reward? I think it's ranked, but I'm not 100% sure. TS5 and CS52 for credits, those are good. The 252, yeah, I didn't look at the EU. It is slightly different, and that's another interesting thing, actually, if you want to compare and contrast the regions. There are a few slight differences that are kind of interesting on that. T103? Yeah, T13 is not bad. Scorpion G makes money. I'll just play a premium. I don't, because I have every tank unlocked, I don't have that pressure of making the credits to get the next thing. So I don't worry too much about playing the best tank for credits. Generally, I can, tier 6 to 8, I can make credits. I can make credits on anything I'm playing, even a tech tree tank, as a general rule. Some of my try-hard tanks, I have all the extra doodads on it and spend a lot of money per game on those, especially splinging gold around. So I'm in a different place than most people in terms of worrying about premium tanks and making money. But if I want to make some credits, I like the low is just a great go-to, or the Renegade, another great go-to. So no problems with either one of those making the credits. All right, guys, been at it for 53. I'm going to take a 5-minute break. We'll be right back. Give me 5 minutes to freshen up, and we'll be right back. All right, we back. You know, just for giggles, let's take a look at the mediums. Bring this thing back up here. Where is it? I don't know. There it is. So if we go to mediums, what's that look like? Chimera. Chieftain T95. Same argument about good players on it, but well, the Chimera is definitely far and away, so that's really an outlier right there. From win 8 wise, though, that there's not as big a drop off, although the Chieftain 59G. Dedicated players, I guess, not necessarily always good. It is a pretty good tank. That is a little surprising to me, though, that it's that high. Again, low sample size, but that was available just to people who had all the resources, and those can tend to be better / more experienced players because they've been around for longer. Not necessarily good players automatically, but there you go. The Barask, okay, so not a big surprise on the Barask. There's the Type 59 itself, so still performing really well. Also preferential, as someone mentioned, with I think the 112. Look at that, 234-3. So that may have something to do with why Wargaming values it slightly higher than maybe some heavies, just because it's a very good tier 8. That surprises me, actually. So its buff, I guess, did some good, right? Recently buffed. What was it, a year ago? Maybe even 2 at this point. I don't remember, but it was kind of a dog for a long time, so they've actually made it good. The Astron Rex, some of these are a bit surprising. I am a bit surprised that Progetto's this far down. But it's played a bunch. Look at that. Even with it being played by everyone and their dog and their mother, it's still at what, top 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? And the AMBT coming in at 10, so new tank. LIS, and then some of the usual suspects are kind of down the middle. How far? Holy cow, look how... this may be even almost worse than the heavies. Look how far we have to go before we find a tech tree tank. All the way down there. What's the worst? The poor Pershing. 40. That's incredible. 43.96% with a 684 win 8. Holy crap. The Chimera has 3 times the win 8 and 13% more win rate. And it's not like the TVP VT. It's right now performing worse than the TVP VT. That surprises the crap out of me, if I'm honest. I sort of had this idea that the Pershing's a pretty good tank, and this is from a long time ago. It's clearly struggling. I mean, I would have easily said the 69 and the VTU were well worse than the Pershing. Before I looked at this, if you'd asked me where it was, I'd say somewhere in the middle of the tech tree. Yeah, I only play American. Yeah, they're yeah, possibly. There's the 40. So the 4202. That surprises me. I usually say, well, it's an okay tank. Clearly, performance-wise, it's not doing great. I mean, it's worse than the KR, not by much, but that's surprising. RPZ, not surprising. 14.5 being the #1 tech tree is surprising to me. That makes a little sense to me. That one I can't figure out. I am awful in that tank, but it is performing the best of the tech tree. I'm flummoxed. I can't even start to explain why that is. I'll take any explanation you guys might have because that one kills me. And then here's another surprise, the 34-2, another recently buffed. It comes in at #2 on tech tree. Okay, that's crazy. It's actually higher than the Mod 1. Another tank I would tell you is actually pretty good, but is buried in terms of premiums down here. Not surprised by the rest of these too much. Let's look at the most played just for giggles. What do we got here? Progetto and Barask. Look at that. 122 TM is 3rd most played. AMBT. Let's look at everything with 100,000. So the Pantera, Centurion, and T44 are played a lot. These are not surprising. T44-100 is played a lot, but it's actually not that great. As is the Super. And there you go. So a lot of interesting little tidbits looking into that stuff. Kind of bursts a lot of bubbles, but when you've been around 10 years like I have, I still have thoughts and opinions and biases and preferences from the beginning of the game, and sometimes a lot of that stuff isn't even true anymore. Thing is, artillery bugs, the 122 is obviously way better than people think. Like, where was it? I don't remember. Win 8. Let's see. Oh, it's pretty far down there, actually. Where was it? Lansing. Oh, it's way down there. 122 team. That's not too bad. It's, 15th or something like that. Win rate looks worse. I know I'm not showing it to you. No, win rate, it's actually up there. It's in the top 10 in win rate. Yeah. I think it's like anything, though. The context matters, and your personal preference may be, and skill and ability in a tank may be well different than what the average is. So if it works for your play style, then it works. Like, you can't argue with your results. If your results are better than your other tanks, then there you go. Global information is interesting on the face, and it can help them kind of look at things that need to be balanced. I don't think you can disregard it, but it's not necessarily everything. On an individual level, it may have nothing to do with anything. Although you may look at it and go, all right, I'm in the market for the tank, and I want to know, what's performing the best. There you go. It is tanks.gg, or sorry, not tanks.gg, tomato.gg. Let me just do this. That one right there. Yep, thanks, Wayne. Cliffy, there you go. They beat me to it. That's it. Cool. All right. TS54, we talked about that. Here's an interesting article. And I haven't broken it down. I just wanted to show it to you guys in case you are interested in checking it out. Let me see if I can find it. Just as a side note, Shatterline, which is one of Wargaming's newest effort at a first-person shooter, I don't know how many they've gone through now. It seems like half a dozen. Is actually in a closed beta or closed test on Steam. I don't know how you get in on that if you're a first-person shooter person, but it's actually on Steam now. So it seems like one of the few that's they've actually got that far. If you're into that thing. All right, I think this is actually on two-line push here. What it is a guy has broken down battle duration. Yeah, so it's on two-line push. Here it is. I'll put the link into chat in case you're curious. That's it right there. We'll bring it up. And I haven't dug into it enough to come to any real conclusions, but this guy's broken down. I think there's plenty of problems with his methodology. One thing he doesn't mention until halfway through the article is that a huge chunk of the games were in Arty. Basically, it's how long did the battle last. In Arty, does Arty make the battle last longer? It makes you last longer. So for you guys who are smarter on methodology and how the stats are gathered, you might get a little more out of it. It seemed questionable, although there was a decent sample size of 18,000. Of the 66,849 replays, 35,000 had the battle duration data and were standard random battles. So First of all, he had 66,000. They parsed it down to 35 and only used standard random battles. Problem being that Assault has 10 minutes, and you might even make an argument, even Encounter, which has 15 minutes, could play differently. That mode could tend to either be more or less in terms of time. I don't actually know what the numbers show. But he broke it, so he used the same type of battle. But the key here is had the duration data. So the other problem is for people who don't stay in the game, I'm assuming he dug this off of Watt replays, although maybe he gets into the API. I don't know where he got that. I might actually say it. I don't remember where he said he got it. But as you know, if you leave the battle, if you upload your thing to Watt replays, then there's no time on it. You leave before the end, so you don't know how long it lasted. And I don't think he couldn't have used Watt replays. He had to get this out of the API, right? Because Watt replays, you could have multiple people upload the same game. So there. Anyway, I'm well past my knowledge base on that, but it is kind of interesting what he found out in terms of the length. Now let's see. Yeah, here it is. So here's the grand breakdown right here, just of how many minutes battles lasted. 23%. So if you take 5 and 6 minutes, math in public, that's 38, 41%, 51, 60%. Like these 5, 6, 7, and 8. So between 5 to 8 minutes is the majority by quite a bit. You can make these stats say anything you want, obviously. Although it's, what is it, almost half? Let's see, like I said, 38, 41% are 5 to 6 minutes. So there you go. You guys can check that out. At least from that sample size, started collecting data in December. 41% last less than. Yeah, see, that's the thing. You can say something with those stats and make it sound bad or good depending on what you're trying to say. 5 minutes should be the most. No. The largest percentage is 6 minutes. At 23% of the games were 6 minutes, and that's the largest percentage. And that sounds about right. Didn't Wargaming put a stat out? It was 6 seconds. The average was 6 seconds something. Yeah, this coffee talk has gone way too long. End this game. Lies, damn lines, and statistics. Exactly, Gator, 100%. Pale Jedi, how are you, man? 8 Hussers, how are you? Analyzed about 10,000 own replays. Average was 7. There you go. How long ago was that? See, Howie? So Howie said, I rarely see a battle last over 5 minutes. How old is this data? I bet that's not true. And I'm not calling you out. I'm just telling you that what we perceive and our assumptions are often, sometimes wildly off, but probably more often than not incorrect. So I don't know. 2 years ago? Yeah. And there could be, again, there's going to be individual variation within the larger context of the numbers. There may be something you do individual. I'm not saying you necessarily, who said that? I'm not saying you necessarily, Howie. I'm just saying you as in audience out there. There may be a way you play or a thing you do that helps games go long or go short. And over a given amount of time, your games may actually be slightly longer or shorter than other people. Exactly, Cliffy. Exactly. Well, there's a great point. I'm rarely in a battle that lasts more than 5 minutes, which could mean potentially that I leave when I die. So that seems like a short battle. There you go. There you go. I don't know. Kind of interesting. So let's talk here towards the end about the new about the new violation policy. The new violation policy. What do you guys think? What do you think? Reported. So I used to chat, I would say, a lot in my first 4 or 5 years of the game. It was kind of the Wild West when I started playing. There was a lot more going on in chat obviously you had cross-team chat, so that added a level of obnoxiousness to it. Yeah, just disable chat. Yep. I don't care if people swear either, Dr. Coleman. The posterior hurt that happens when somebody is toxic, I don't care about. It doesn't bother me. I actually like trash talk. I've said it a million times. The one limit I have is don't chase people into garage and harass them. And I use the word harass, but it's not in the context of the modern parlance of harassment, which could be anything that makes you grumpy. I'm just saying there's no reason to go into the garage and send them a note. If you want to trash talk during the game and go at it, have at it, man. For me personally, that's part of the fun. Now, as a CC, I try to limit that. I don't always accomplish it, but it's dialed back. It used to be all the way at 11, and now it's probably at 2, maybe 1. Yeah, grumpy. So this is something, the snowflake thing. I think that there is, and especially in the gaming community, there is a tendency to overreact like crazy about stuff like this. And there's no tolerance anymore for any kind of, conflict, right? Everything has to be happy, joy. And if it's not, then you're in trouble because you're not, you are not somehow upholding this perfect idea of what everyone has to be, which humans can't accomplish. Unable. Now, that's not to say Guido says everyone should say whatever they want. There's such a thing as civil society. So I reserve the right to say anything I want at any time, in any place. But I have the civility to know when to not say those things. And it's too bad we can't always do that. It's too bad we can't always do that. So it's acceptable to be a toxic if you don't. Well, I don't know, man. Dragon's Tooth? What's happening? It's why your chat is always off. You don't want to hear it. Yep. And everyone has their own limits, and everybody has their own, personal thing, personal life, words they don't like, concepts they don't like. But the whole reporting people constantly, and I'm going to get you kicked out of this game because you said something I don't like, that's what I don't get too much. That's what I don't get too much. Let's see. I'm going to actually do this. Let's go to the article, though. I did a whole video on it, so this is sort of rehashing something we've already talked about. But I was kind of also curious what you guys thought about it. Where is this thing? So what I will say about this is I don't think it's a big change, honestly. And most of you will not interact with it on the punishment side. If not, everyone in this chat probably won't. I don't know. Maybe somebody will. It's a couple of you were talking about getting banned. I actually have a forum strike from years ago. It was talking about stats, and so I was in the middle of the fray about the whole act of it's all random. Nothing you do matters. It's rigged. All that, that whole argument. And I got into, I don't remember who it was, but I got a forum strike on that. So from there, I stopped really getting into chat battles on the forum. All right, so the terminology here: minor chat violations, 1-day chat ban, profanity, insults, minor harassment. I mean, insults could be, you're terrible. Thanks for, letting that guy die. Hold on a second, guys. I'll be right back. Okay. Friends of ours are on the way to get the ladder because their cat is stuck in a high tree. You ever seen a cat skeleton in a tree? I haven't. You ever seen a dead cat underneath a tree? Me either. It'll get out of the tree. But hey, you want to climb up the tree and grab a cat that's all claws and teeth, be my guest. Exactly, artillery. I think it's probably more dangerous to try to get him out of the tree. We had one go up to the top of the tree. Our cat, when he was young. They only do that when they're young, by the way. Yeah, they only do that when they're young. When they get older, they stop going up to the very top of the tree because they realize they're not going to get that squirrel or that bird. In fact, they learned it's better to be on the ground to catch them. So anyway, insults. Like, what does that even mean? Right? What does that even mean? I don't know. Could it be, oh, you're terrible? What I don't know about this new policy is it actually going to be stricter in terms of adjudicating? So are they looking to clamp down? That's what it sounds like. It's what it sounds like, but I don't know. Yeah, Gator. So and there's the rub, right? There's the background noise of what's, I think, probably happening here. And I don't want to get into that too much, other than to say overreaction. And I'm not saying overreaction in terms of who's right or who's wrong, but a very wide sweeping net catching up everything to do with X country. Like everything, everyone and everything. So my question with that, especially, let's just talk in terms of the gaming community. Just in terms of the gaming community. What's the dismount? Right? What's the final result of that? Exactly. You're not gaming in a vacuum, 100%. So people get in the chat and they start saying country X, yay, country Y, boo, whatever. But what's the dismount? If we, the gaming community as a whole, we've come to this conclusion that we have this evil group that we need to block and cancel at every possible conceivable area. And then we need to suppress any kind of anything that makes us feel like you might sort of not be on board with the current direction everyone wants you to be in. Well, what's the dismount? If in 6 months from now that thing is over, what's the dismount? Cliffy, I just read it somewhere. Was it here? This is NA only. This is NA only, which surprised me a little bit. And I actually read that it was officially somewhere. I don't remember where I read it. But this is a NA thing. So you got the world situation. You got the tendency for complete overreaction to everything in terms of this kind of stuff. You have a company that has largely let a lot of this go by, and I think what they've let go by is the physics abuse / trolling in the game. That's the thing that never really got taken care of in any reasonable way. There's language filters. They already banned people for language. That happens quite a bit. But here's another thing about it. Right, Bonzi, that's kind of where I'm getting at. 100%. So Wargaming has the anonymizer. There is an account, and it takes names from old accounts. And sometimes it makes very unfortunate combinations. Sometimes the name itself that they grab is unfortunate. There is a name rolling around that I have seen people report 3 times. And it's JEW Hunter. That's the name. And there may even be multiple accounts with numbers or whatever. And so it's obviously an old account, probably got banned or whatever, but that name is still in their database. That's where they're drawing the names for the anonymizer. So that anonymous name has showed up that I know of 3 times. Other CCs have seen it. Not the same. I mean, how is it still in there? Right? Wargaming, you're gonna hammer us and get on our case and crush us for whatever. Like, what even are some of these things? Cliffy's seen that name. There you go. It's still there. How? How is it still there? I know it's been reported. You know? Yeah, Oxford. But then the question becomes, well, okay, I mean, it's a historical name. Are we that worried about it? Well, apparently, yeah, because if you're associated with certain things, then you're just pure evil no matter what. The argument is certainly there, 100%. But if I had the name Genghis, it's fine because it's far enough away. It's fine because it's not far enough away in time. I don't know, right? So it's, where's the limit? Where's the limit? Too busy playing the game. I miss the names a lot too. Actually, Wayne. There's probably been all kinds of inappropriate names I've just completely missed. So I'm not sure what profanity, insults, and minor harassment exactly is. They're not either. They don't know either. Like I said in my video, one person's minor harassment is another guy's good laugh, right? Now, I don't like being blocked and trolled, and occasionally sometimes, somebody mentioned it on the video, you're working a small choke point, and, you're number one going through, but holy crap, I need to back up, and now you're getting jammed up, and they're pushing you through. Or you do the same to someone because you want to get through. That's kind of part of playing the game, but could be, and I'm getting a little bit into minor game violations here now as opposed to chat stuff. That's this part here. But you get my drift. What is the limit? Are you going to get randomly? First of all, you got to be reported probably. So somebody randomly gets mad. Say you did it. Okay, you did it. It's a little minor infraction. They get mad enough to report you. Maybe you do that 10 times to somebody else and you never hear about it. But then you do it another time, even by accident, and now you're banned. Yeah, the sack of Jerusalem. Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's no shortage of atrocities attributed to I won't say great leaders because I don't actually believe that very much, but big leaders, famous leaders, leaders of large countries or movements or armies or whatever. Like in the South, Sherman is still a hated name, right? In southern United States, General Sherman went through and just torched things as he went. Hated name. There's a tank named the Sherman. Yeah, Cliffy, Tooey. but nobody gets to the idea that we got to ban the name Sherman because Southern Americans might not like it. That's a good one, Gator. That's a great. See, there's so many examples. So what he's talking about is you're side scraping or somebody jamming in front of you, right? You're pulling out, and when you go out to shoot, they go whoop and get right in there. You know what I mean? Is that bannable? I don't know. It's certainly irritating when it happens to me. Blocking someone's shot. How do you know if it's on purpose? A lot of times it's pretty easy to tell if it's no kidding on purpose. Atlanta burner. People stealing your bush. Yeah. Yeah. You got pushed out of a bush by Garbad. There you go. Yep. Ban Pilgrim. Very true. Oh, I think the ladder guy is here. Hold on. Give me 5 minutes. I'll be right back. I gotta sort this out. All right, cat thing is sorted. They don't have it out of the tree yet, but they got multiple ladders inbound. Okay, so Rolex, I don't know, and that's a great question. That's another part of my reason to bring this up. Yeah, bring the firemen in. It's an updated system, but there's no information on how it will be adjudicated, which I wouldn't expect them to give. There was no information on how they did it with the old system. So there's new violation lists, I guess you might call it, with the violations include, but I would assume are not completely. This is not a complete list. There's some notes on what the results will be, but there's no real way to know how they're going to do this. I drowned in a Brit Light. That guy's terrible. What happened? Did I drown on purpose or did I fall off something? Oh man. Strikes against you list. You can so here's another thing about this that I'm not quite certain of. The chat bans. I think this is in-game chat bans, not forum. I think the forum is still the strike system. This doesn't say anything that I remember about the forum. I think on my video, I made an assumption that it counted the forum and thought I'd get my strike taken off, but I think the forum is separate. And this, I believe, is just in-game. I think, fellas, I'm actually going to turn off Chrome because I'm going to get into some personal details here, but I think you can get it in your account management page, I believe. Data, subscription, maybe not. Huh. I thought there was a place in here to show you that. Maybe not. Does anybody know? Got a forum strike due to an ethanol enhanced screed. I think that happens more often than not, actually. I thought there was a way to find your bans, but I can't remember. I thought for sure I'd actually seen it recently. But I haven't had an in-game. The only in-game ban I've had was for TKing, back when you could do it. Like I said, back in the day, if you knew what you were doing, you could TK people who deserved it. As long as you didn't do it very much, you wouldn't build up enough negatives and you wouldn't get banned. I thought that was a feature, not a bug, actually. I thought Wargaming let that happen so you could deal with the nastiest of trolls. So every now and again, not very often, but every now and again, I would TK somebody who earned it. Send them back to garage. And as long as you didn't do it too often, you could do that, and it wouldn't get you banned. I got TK banned once for artillery, so I did get a day. I got a day vacation when I was playing artillery. I hit friendlies too much. That was a long time ago though. Yeah, Howie. People tend to yell "reported" and not do anything. That's 100%. Look under player support. Okay. Is that at the bottom? That is at the bottom of the page. Oh, that's right. That's it. Player support. Yep. And then go... What was it? Under reports and appeals, maybe? I think so. No, that's not it. Where is it in there? Trying to find reported guy. Account. I bet that's it. No. General questions. Details and security. I don't know. It's in here somewheres. My bands. There it is. Top right. My bands. Nope. Ooh. There you go. Here. I'll just prove it. That's mine. No bands to show. It's up here, guys. Right here. Actually, my mouse... Why is my mouse not showing? There we go. It's up here. See that? My tickets and my bands. Boom, boom. There it is right there. So go to down here. Try to back this up. Down here on the bottom of the page, and it says player support. Click that. Go up here to my bands right here, and then that's where you'll find it. So they must have reset it since I got my... That, like I said, that was years and years and years ago. That was my last one day. I got a 24-hour. I reported the guy shot because he was trying to push me into the water to die. Wargaming said, tough shit, don't shoot him. Yeah. Yep. And that's what drove me crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because they could troll. You're not allowed to retaliate. If you do, now you get caught up in the same ban thing. And I just find that is not really how I operate my life. That is not how I deal with people who are jacking with me. But again, it's a pixel tank game, so at the end of the day, it probably shouldn't matter that much. So I don't know, guys. I don't know what I have a feeling that essentially this is much ado about nothing. I don't really see... It will be interesting to see if more people get caught up in it and if there's more complaints about it, about the system. If more people get banned. I will tell you that I just watched I have a replay and a video. Muscles last night was playing and had a platoon jack with him. And just dude in a 907 just blocked him the whole game. Ran into him, harassed him, did the whole 9 yards, you know. On stream, that kind of good stuff. I guess they were counting in, or at least trying to drop in as close as they could, or maybe they just saw him and decided to go after him because they're in the same game. I don't know how it went down. And then one of you guys just sent me another video, and it's pretty funny because I saw Muscle's video this morning, and then I went into the forum and I had a note from who was it? It was one of you guys. Nona sent me a link to a replays.eu game. I opened it up. I'm like, lo and behold, one of the same guys doing the same thing. Another platoon of 3. They pinned a Leopard into the corner on Fisherman's Bay, I think, with a Type 5 and an STB, and then another tank. The other tank actually died. He seemed to sort of be playing. The other two pushed a Leopard up onto its side and had it in front. So there was the corner of the map. The STB was here. The Leopard they had pushed into a side, and then the Type 5 made a T. No, not South. Well, I don't know where they were from. A couple of them were anonymous. One of them has the name Overlord Prime, but there's 2 dashes in between. So he's trying to troll Overlord, I guess. But the Overlord Prime account, who knows if it's the same player, you have to assume so, was in both of those platoons. The other guys were different, although I think they were also anonymous, so I'm not really sure. For whatever reason, the guy using the Overlord Prime name was not anonymous. Oh, defects, I don't even care, dude. Actually, that's the second account that has that. The first one was George Preddy 69's Guido 1212, and I think somebody, I didn't complain about it. I don't even care if you're going to be this free advertisement as far as I'm concerned. Although I was kind of pissed I didn't get top billing. But the good news is they fixed it. On the second account that they did it with, it was Guido 1212 69's George Preddy. So I got top billing. So that's good. I'm moving up in the world. I don't care, man. I honestly, it's like, whatever, dude. Good on you. Because doesn't that cost gold to do that? I mean, right on, man. Thank you. He actually posted a couple times, and people were complaining about it or whatever. And I put him like, dude, that's hilarious. You do you. If this gets deleted, it is not because I complained. I don't care. New accounts, good. So they took time to make a new account. Don't you have to play? How many games do you have to play on NA? Is it only 5 or something like that? Maybe NA should increase that to 100 or something before you can. That's kind of painful if you're an actual new player, though, right? Because you want to get on the forums and ask questions and figure it out. Maybe I wonder if you could lock them only to asking questions in the new player forum or something. I hope they use Guido grind, because if I'm going to 69 somebody, it has to have been from a Guido grind. I hope. Oh man, imagine that. How much? I don't get it. I was going to try to speculate why. I mean, I know why you do it. It's a rhetorical question, but that's not really why you would do it. You know what I mean? The reason is to troll someone. Why? That's the one I can't wrap my mind around. You know what I mean? Yeah, I got it. Well, why do you do it? Because I want to troll. I mean, no, that's not the why. That's the reason. Why? Yeah, dude, make Guido 1122. You know, Guido 1211. It's pretty funny, the automatic bot that Damien uses over at Damien's Gaming. Somebody gave me a gift sub to his channel as well. I actually hung out with him yesterday and played a little bit on stream. We had a good time. He's a funny dude. And the automatic bot spells it out, and it said Guido 1212. It's like, yes. Esquire, that's the long form of the name. That's the, hey, Ben, you were there. Ben was in the games, man. I sent that guy a note, the dude in the LEF that clutched it. Old Clutch Shot was his name. He did respond. I gave him a link to that part of the battle where he won it. You guys probably weren't there, but there was a, is it West? Was that Westfield? I think it's Westfield, right? Is that the one with the? I think it was Westfield. I did praise a clicker, man. He was in an LEF. We had done a pretty good amount of damage, but it was looking grim because it was Ben in his Type 64, a one-shot, and a Tog with 300 hit points, so a 2 or 3 shot to the two really to the LEF, if he gets any kind of penetration at all. So it was the Tog and Ben in his Type 64 with Ben had 60 hit points or 40 or something really low against that one LEF. And he was down in the corner south, I think it's the southwest corner of Westfield, down in the bottom there in those trees. And Ben was getting in there trying to spot him. He got trapped behind a building. He was doing a good job spotting him, and then came around the corner when the LEF was aimed in, and the LEF directly nailed him and took him out. And then the Tog broke out of the cover, and he got killed. It sucked, man. I think Ben was hoping the stupid Tog would get in position to fire. So I don't know if he was, what that guy was doing. He certainly wasn't in position. I don't know, Ben. It might have been better to just rush him and try to use some maneuver to stop him from hitting you. But, man, those things are pretty accurate close in. For an arty, they're extremely accurate close in. So the LEF stole that one back, so we praised him. It was pretty fun to watch, actually. I don't know how someone can play tanks for longer 2-3 hours. Pale Jedi plays. A lot of people, it's just their hobby, or there's a lot of reasons why. I don't have enough time to do that. I used to do that a bit, but now I don't. Yeah, Dragon's Tooth. On the surface, I would concur, but like I was saying, some people's life situation is just that's what they do. I mean, their mobility's down, or age, or other things going on, and that's what they got. So I can't scoff that. I think making the assumption that it's just some loser in mom's basement is a bad starting position. Yeah, yep. But your point is valid and well taken. There are plenty of people who spend too much time in front of their computer. Maybe me sometimes. I know, right, Cliffy? I get that a lot. People are like, wow, you spend a lot of time doing that computer thing. And I'm like, yeah, well, how long did you sit in front of your TV last night binge watching the latest Netflix thing or whatever? I rarely ever do that. I almost never turn my TV on. So I'm interacting here, I'm creating content, I'm reading, I'm watching news sites, I'm on Reddit, I'm learning something, I'm watching a video, I'm watching Vice Grip Garage, learning about cars. I mean, I'm just doing, yeah, exactly. Everyone's got priorities, Spitfire, 100%. Never play in the summer. You know what? That's funny. I actually play in the summer a bit because it gets so bloody hot here sometimes that you just want to chill out in the cool. But it does go down in the summer, that's for sure. Wayne, did you? Oh, bro, I love The Last Kingdom. You know the new season's out, right? The new season's out. We're on, I think, episode 6, so don't give me any spoilers. American Pickers binging, yeah, that's a good one. I do actually watch a bit of American Pickers. I don't go looking for it, but if it shows up, I'll watch it, a little bit of it. That's actually pretty cool. Wayne, you're halfway through. Oh, you got a lot of good watching, man. Last Kingdom. Uhtred of Bebbanburg. Oh, man. Great show. You'd like Florida better if it was a dry heat? Yeah, 100%. Spend too much time at the house with the... That's supposed to be that's supposed to remain in your brain, Grumpy. Highly recommend The Last Kingdom. It is really good. If you liked Vikings at all, I like it better than Vikings. Vikings is good. Last Kingdom, I think, is better. Although I think them's fighting words for some people because they really liked Vikings. Resident Alien. What is that about? Is he an actual alien? Like Mars alien, like space alien? Think of Pilgrim as a Viking? Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's nutty. Better Call Saul. I never got into that. I never got into Saul or the... what is it? Whatever it came from. What was that called? Guy made meth or whatever, right? Was a school teacher and turned into a meth dealer. Is that the idea? Breaking Bad. I never got into that. I think I watched an episode or two, and it just wasn't my thing. I know it was really liked. Space modulator. Too redneck to like that sort of thing. Most TV moonshiners, yeah. Yeah. Never got into meth either. Yeah, me either. I tried to avoid that at all costs. Car shows the only thing I can watch for more than 2 episodes. I got a friend who loves watching the Barrett Jackson. He just loves watching the daggum sales. The auctions. Just loves the auctions. Don't have cable, yeah. Somebody posted in the Discord that the oh jeez, I'll tell you what, my brain has stopped this morning. Maybe I need another cup of coffee. Obi-Wan. So the Obi-Wan series is going to come out. That'll be pretty cool. I did enjoy the Book of Boba Fett. I thought that was really good. I also liked Mandalorian. Yeah, you can hack all that stuff. Absolutely. It's interesting because all those added together, all those various subscriptions are starting to be more than the old cable bill that you supposedly cut cable to save money, and you keep adding on these new things. Yeah, Book of Boba Fett is good. It's a little bit weird because it actually turned into Mandalorian for a couple episodes. Like Boba Fett disappeared and then came back in the end. I was a bit irritated that I'm not a Cad Bane fan. I mean, I know a lot of people love him or whatever. I can take him or leave him. And I know he was a big part of Rebels and all that stuff. Well, I didn't say he was dead. Did I say that? No spoilers, sorry. He lived. Anyway, the event that happened around him in Book of Boba Fett, I thought was kind of perfunctory. I was like, isn't there a better, can't we do something more interesting? I hate it when characters show up that are canon or whatever, in whatever series, they've been kind of in the background or doing stuff, and then when they finally do show up somewhere else, that it's only to be done with. I don't like that. That's weird. I thought it was a weird decision. But Pale Jedi said, maybe. Yeah, Cliffy. Exactly. Now, do you think when they killed Boba Fett off, they ever thought they'd bring him back? I don't think they did. I don't think that there was any plan for that. That was an idea that came later on when he became really popular. I don't think they really thought his popularity sort of was organically generated from the fan base. I don't think when they put him in, they had any idea that would be. Oh, was it? Well, there you go. Pale Jedi knows. What do I know? Boba's dead. No. We're talking about Return of the Jedi. We already know he survived that. I didn't realize that, Pale Jedi. Is that actually in the movie? Or is it in a updated version of it? Was it in the original? Somebody ban Just Around Midnight, please. Can we just... I don't even want to talk to this guy. I liked it, actually. Game of Thrones is one of the better shows, I think, that have come out in a long time. They stole the book series from Patton. Yeah. I think Game of Thrones was fantastic. The thing about that series I liked is that nobody was safe. They just, you know what I mean? you never knew. And that's how the book was. I read the books, liked the books a lot, and I liked that you never knew what was going to happen. just yeah. just I could be. I don't need you. I could be watching Kill a Girl. I wonder what's going to happen with that, Cliffy. Do you really think he's going to finish it? I wonder if he just said F it. Based on that guy, I would not be surprised if he's just decided to not. I'm kind of wondering what the point is at this point. And while that may not have been his ending, right? Exactly. I think he's just yeeted that whole idea. He just doesn't care. And I don't think I can, Miss Pilgrim already, I don't think I can blame him. He can just say, well, you know, the ending is what you saw in the show. That's the ending. Why would I write it? There it is. I think he did pull the green apple, actually. Yeah, he was getting hypoxic and just popped it, and he's out of here. He's got a family event. I don't know why a family event is more important than this. I can't comprehend that. Seems to me like you would change your schedule and be here instead of hanging out with your family. It's kind of ridiculous, but there you go. No, he had a family event. All right, dudes, it's been 2 hours. It's been 2 hours. Good chat, though, actually. Good chat. Lasted a little longer than I thought. That's very good. Not like there's a cat in a tree. Yeah, we could have deployed Pilgrim. You'd just twinkle his nose, a little leprechaun nose, and he'd go right up there. Yeah, enough is enough, all right? This is enough. All right, dudes, that's pretty much all I've got. Should be back with Pilgrim next week. Appreciate everybody coming by. Yeah, you know what? I should grab my camera right now and go watch it, because that is going to be a circus, especially knowing the people who are doing it. All right, thanks for everybody coming by. Much appreciated. Thanks for the follows for you folks that did so. I didn't see it, but B52, Ben the Weatherman, much appreciated. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That is all I've got for today. We'll see you. Hopefully I can do some streaming in the very near future. Later, Gators.